we're going to make some ornaments, and I have Cupcake, the little baking cups, and this vintage page of different characters and so forth. And these can be put onto cardboard. So we're going to try our hand at making this, and I saw this done on Pinterest. This one looks really pretty. Look at that. To make this ornament, you will need 14 of your little baking cupcakes. This was a pack of 50. And the neat thing about this is you're going to take your thumb, you're going to fold that flap over just right there at the edge, and you're going to make it straight. Just going to smooth out the crinkles and fold that half in. You're going to go to the other side and do the very same thing. Fold your crinkles out and fold it down. With those two halves right there, you're going to flip it over. You're going to take this and fold it halfway in. And the other side, you're going to take and fold it halfway in. On the opposite side, right here where these two come together, you're going to fold it in half. To keep that together, put a small amount of glue there, just to hold those two together. Now, do 13 more, just like that. Now with all 14 ready and folded, begin putting a little bit of glue. Put a streak on this side, a streak on this side, and right here at the bottom. And place the next one on top of it, even Steven. And continue to do that for all 14 pieces put together. Be sure to match them up. Now that you have all 14 stacked, you can take and open them and curl them around. And you want to glue those two pieces together. So once again, put a streak on each side and one across the bottom. And bring your two pieces together. Beautiful, beautiful. So taking the vintage pictures I have here and just a cracker box, I'm going to glue these to this cracker box. And then that way I have a more firm piece that it's resting upon. And I want to savor this, so I'm just going to go right down the seam and where it's glued on the inside and open that up. And now I have lots of board that I can put these on, and this will make them real nice and neat. And with this, you probably want to glue this down with either like a fast drying liquid glue, or you can use a glue stick. Now I'm cutting all this extra paper away from it, so it'll be easier for me to cut these out once they're glued to the board. And you can do the same. It'll save you time. You'll be able to move a little bit quicker. And I want to make sure that mine are glued where there is no seam. I want the smooth straightness. And you'll be able to get quite a few off of a cracker box. So if you do more than one, you will have plenty of area to work with. And as you can see, these fit right there pretty good, and I could probably even get more if I turn them this way. And for these vintage prints, they're already on the blog as far as I know, and I did get these from Pinterest, so I'll be sure to put a link down below for my Pinterest, and that way you can find these fairly easy. You can print about any one that you want. It's really a personal preference. I just thought you would enjoy seeing these vintage ones and how I'm going to make them really truly look like vintage. ornaments. So I have 7 discs made, and they are stunning. This is the silver and white only, and I have my decorative holiday Christmas one, and this one has the silver, the decorative, and the white. They all look gorgeous. Now I also have all of the ornaments pieces that are cut out from off the cracker box. I cut them just like die cuts, and they are ready to be used and all looking great. And I used some clear transparent crafting glue. Next step is to start decorating our disc. Gather some scrapbook paper. That would be nice. I have plenty of chenille stems, all the various colors, and I also have my stamps that I love for Christmas time. And I've got my 3 different ones here. And what I want to do is I want to pose whichever ornamental piece, that die cast piece that I'm going to use on them. Now I only have 7. One thing that I invested in a long time ago is this is a 2 1/4 inch punch. Now these are super nice. They're heavy duty and they go through a lot of thickness. I got this one on clearance, and I'll be honest with you, it's one of the best things I ever bought. It's worth full price if you have to. Most of the time you can find these at like Hobby Lobby, even Amazon. I have went ahead and cut out 2 of the cardstock Christmas scrapbooking paper, and that way I've got one for the front and one for the back. But what I want to do is I want to change it up. Most of the time you just see this piece in the center with a hanger, and I'm wanting to put some kind of background to some of these so that they pop more and do a little more, and also to add a chenille stem. And I thought it'd be really neat to wrap a chenille stem around these little papers, glue them in the center, and then glue the piece on top. So give you a visual of my vision, and what I am bearing in mind is if this is around this paper and it's in the center, and then have this piece on top of it. And look at the difference. That's just like a big pop difference, and it just really plays into the whole nostalgia of this era and vintage feel of the old ornaments in the 40s and 50s and 60s. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and put this chenille stem around this paper, and if you need to glue it in place first, that works too. But I think it'll be just as well if just a small amount of glue is pasted this on, and then that way I can just clip it where it needs to be and end it. The trick with the chenille is make sure that you turn the very tip inward so that it will wrap. Also be mindful of if you have verbiage on there like I do, and I want to make sure that I start up here at the top, because the way that this piece will be laying is it'll cover up the beginning, and then that way I won't have to worry so much. And it's only going to take just a smidge of glue to get the chenille started on there, and then by the time I wrap this around and get the next end to it, and they'll stay in place. And you can always, glue a top of the paper. I'm just going around this edge real quick. I might have to spot glue that in 2 or 3 places just to make sure it stays. Do it at the bottom and at the top. That looks so cute. I really love it. That looks neat. And now, once I go to the back, what my plans are back here is just to have something in the back. And it doesn't even have to have a cardboard against it or anything. That way when it's spinning, when the ornament spins, it'll be seen. So let me just line that up. And just basically put some glue to the back. And we are done with that. Look at there, that quick. And of course, you know, using hot melt with paper, it's going to stay wherever you put it. So now we have one that just needs a hanger. And you could use the leftover piece from the chenille stem if you wanted to. And that might be just as well. Let's see how long a tie it will give us. I'm just going to twist the end. Make sure that hits in the center. Right here. Gluing in the rear would be better because that way if it's hanging, hopefully that will be able to take the weight as well. We'll see right here. We'll test it. Give that a second to set up because I don't want to mash those. And these silver ones are aluminum, so they have the potential to bend real easy. And they don't weigh hardly anything. They're real light. Using my stamps, I put Merry Christmas on the back card that's going on the back of the ornament. And here's the little girl, and I did it with the red, and it turned out really great. And what's going to be good about putting that hanger on is I can actually line it up with the exact center of the back there. So that's going to help out a whole bunch in centering that. And voila, these look absolutely gorgeous. And I'm so pleased with how these are turning out. They're really looking nice. And I think those will look wonderful on the tree. If you'd rather purchase than to make, check out dandelionssoap.com/shop. And the link will be in the description box down below. So that's with the Merry Christmas on it. And that one's Merry Christmas. 2 down and 5 to go. And these are looking great. So this is the one that had the mixed colors, all 3 of them. This is one that just had silver and white. And the next one is my favorite one with the little reindeer. And it's going to have the plaid. And I think that's just going to look absolutely gorgeous. And this one I've actually entertained not putting a chenille stem around it at all. But I believe that I will. I think I'll at least do a red or a green. And my favorite one, I have it put together. And I did add the red chenille to it. And it just turned out beautifully. So I'm going to go about fixing all of them. And as I said, with these vintage cutouts, you can find the link down below. And I know that you'll enjoy making these. When I get them finished, I'll give you a shot of them. This particular one is large enough that even a round disc behind it would not be seen. You just wouldn't even be able to tell that it was on there. So I'm going to put it on just like it is, and then put the Merry Christmas on the back of it, because it really is just a beautiful little kitty cat, Christmas kitty cat with holly. And I'm just going to place it right on the center, and that will take care of the little kitty cat, because it really doesn't take much glue on these at all. And I just smear it around so that I make sure it gets spreaded out. And as soon as it hits that paper, it's a done deal. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't slip, slide. There's no adjusting. Once you touch down, that is it. It's attached. And just look so neat. I just love the nostalgic. I love the old vintage ornaments. They're my favorite, and I enjoy making them. They're a lot of fun to make, and it really gets you in the Christmas spirit. So if you struggle trying to relate, revisiting the back side of things and in the past and how far we've come is a great way to get into the Christmas spirit. So there we go with that one, and I'll just add a little chenille stem for the hanger. Make that just look super cute. So I've finished up all of the ornaments and they look so amazing. Really, really perfect. So definitely try out making these 7 nostalgic vintage die cut ornaments using your cupcake papers, baking papers. It's super easy, and as you can see, they turn out just wonderful. And add a little bit of a chenille stem just to change it up and really truly make them pop. Making Christmas ornaments is a great joy of mine, and I love bringing you new ideas each and every year. I know this one will be among your favorites, so be sure to save this video to your watch list. In case I haven't told you lately, I really appreciate you. And until the next DIY, this is Elizabeth. I'll be crafting y'all. Merry Christmas, and catch the next video for more fun ideas.